Well, hey, what's going on? This is your girl, Audrey Codner from ACCUPLACER Tutoring. ACCUPLACER Tutoring. Doing the last bit of tutoring, education, inspiration, all day. This is what we do. All right, are you sick of me? Are you sick of me? All right, so many people blowing up my DMs. Man, for a second there, I thought I was like, someone famous. All right, so a lot of us keep asking, hey, Miss Audrey, can you do rational expressions? The next time I'm going to say, yeah, when you hire me as your tutor. Jeez. All right, but that's what we're going to be doing tonight because I know I had to do something tonight, and real talk, just didn't prepare myself. So that's what we are doing tonight. So come on in. Let's go and tap. Let's have some fun. I'm thinking about maybe an hour, no more than an hour and 15 minutes. That's all we are going to be doing because, my friend, I am tired. All right. So first off, we're going to start with adding and subtracting rational expressions. So as you guys are coming in, go ahead and tip of the tap. Let's see if we can get our 1K, get ourselves started, because we need to push this to the FYP. I know a lot of people are like, but Audrey, school's closed. Yeah, not for everyone, selfish. There's some people that still have to take classes, all right? So, hey, if there's people that needs classes, I'm here to support. So, let's get it done. Hey, Janice, how are you doing? All right, so let's chitty of the tap and the tippity of the tap. Now, if you know of anyone that's thinking about getting their GED, like this, what I'm about to do tonight is really for people that's doing the college algebra. Okay, this will not be on the GED. It may be on the ASVAB, especially if you're going into the higher levels, but when it comes to GED, it's not on there. So if you come in and you're like, what is this? Then you'll have an understanding. But there's a lot of basic concepts that is within there. All right, as promised, here I go. Hey, Big Al. Hey, Robert. What is happening? So we're adding and subtracting rational expressions. We're going to see if we do have time to get to those multiplying and dividing. That's always my favorite ones. So if we have 5x, okay, over y, minus 3 over y. Now, just like fractions, we all need a common denominator, okay? In order for you to add or subtract fractions, you have to have a common denominator. Right here, we already have a common denominator, which is y. So all I have to do is combine my numerators. So we have 5x minus 3 over y. Okay? We had a common denominator, so we didn't have to make any kind of adjustments to make it common. And all you have to do is basically subtract your numerator. This is it. Okay? So you're taking the same philosophy that you would do with fractions, and all you're doing is adding into these rational numbers. So if I want to, we can do this one. Let's see, we have 3 over x minus 7 plus 1 minus 2x over x squared. All right. Okay. I'm doing all right. What about 4 or 5 minutes ago? Oh, okay. What? It's not Aztec. What? And my school said whatever is on there, it's on the test. Is that true? It's on Aztec. What, the GED? Yeah, they probably moved everything over there. Yeah, I have to take a look at Aztec because I haven't seen Aztec in a long time. So I'll take a research. All right, so just like anything else, I know for a fact you're probably like, what? Now, we need to have a common denominator, all right? A lot of us know it as your LC, in this case, LCD, your least common divisor, okay? So right now, we have a x minus 7, and we have an x squared. So this x minus 7, that's representing one number. This x squared, that's representing another number. So your LCD is actually going to be, if I may put it in descending order, it will be your x squared times x minus 7. Okay, you're probably like, oh, well, I can actually do all this rounding. No, you don't have to do that. It's too technical. All right? So in order for me to get this as my denominator, that means this is missing my x squared. And whatever I multiply to the bottom, I have to multiply to the top, aka the numerator. So whatever I multiply in the denominator, I have to multiply in the numerator. Same thing is happening over here with the x squared. What's missing with the x squared is my x minus 7. And whatever I multiply in the denominator, I have to multiply in the numerator. Okay? Because first things first, we need to have a common denominator. So you're going to have to do something through multiplication to help that out. Okay? All right. Hello. Okay. Well, the whole class was lost? Of course it is. All right, so let's take a gander. So now that we're going to have the common denominator, let's clean up our numerators. So if we take a look at this first one, it is x squared times 3. So as we clean it up, that's going to be a 3x squared. All right, same denominator. So we have x squared, and we have x minus 7. So that takes care of our first ratio. All right. Then we have our plus sign, bring that down. Now, over here, we have two factors. We have 1 minus 2x, and we have x minus 7. Anytime you see two parentheses like this, that means we got to do our FOIL method or distribution, okay, or box method, whichever you want to do. So we need to clean this up, okay, before we officially say, hey, this is our whole thing. So we got our x squared. We have x minus 7. So I'm going to put my numerator right here, off to the side over here in red, okay? So that means we have 1 minus 2x times x minus 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to distribute. So I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to distribute to everything in that second parenthesis. Anything times 1 is itself. So that means we have x minus 7, and we're done with that part. But now, we need to distribute this negative 2x. And when we distribute, we need to multiply that to everything in the second parenthesis. So negative 2x times x gives me a negative 2x squared. And negative 2x times a negative 7, and negative times a negative gives me positive. And 2x times 7 gives me 14x. We can clean this up Because guess what? We got like terms. Right here with the 14x and right here with the 1x. So if I combine those, and I'm going to put it in descending order, I start with the highest degree. So that means I got negative 2x squared. Then I combine 14x with the 1x. So that gives me 15x. And then what's left over is this random negative 7. So this is going to take the place of this. So let me just go ahead and do that. So we have negative 2x squared plus 15x minus 7 over my common denominator of x squared, x minus 7. And I'm just going to bring everything else down. Okay. I know, it looks like a crazy jigsaw right now. So, let's keep track on what we need to look at. So I'm going to lower this so we can focus all our attention here. Because I notice that when I see a whole bunch of work and I just start copying stuff down, I get overwhelmed, right? So after I do it, I can take a nice little sheet of paper and just kind of cover over it. So now I can focus on what I need to focus on. So since my denominator is going to be exactly the same, that's how we did it, we just need to combine our numerator. So we have 3x squared plus negative 2x squared. These are like terms because of the x squareds. So that right away will give me x squared. You don't do anything with the exponents when you're adding or subtracting. Only when you're multiplying and dividing, that's when you do something with the exponents. So since those were the only two like terms that I can combine, everything else is just going to come down. So my plus 15x minus 7. And then I'm going to put my x squared, x minus 7 in the denominator. So just in case, I always double check to see if this can be broken down or factored down. So is there a number multiplied by itself can give me negative 7, two numbers, as well as add together to give me a 15? What do you think? Okay, Mars is saying no. Iraqwood saying no. What was that little? Was that dirtbag? What are you doing? Saying no. Jennifer saying no. Big Al saying no. No. Okay. Two numbers multiplied to give me 7. 1 and 7. 7's a prime number. There's no way I could rearrange it for 1 and 7, especially one of them has to be negative to give me 15. So if I can't break it down, I will simply bring it down. That's my answer. It looks disgusting, but that's my answer. I can't break it down any further. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Is it a lot? Yes. Because this is what happens when you start doing slightly advanced math like college algebra or even pre-calculus. You're taking combinations of foundational math like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, whole numbers, fractions, decimals, okay, absolute values, square roots, all that. And they're just tweaking it to make it a little more advanced. Okay. What about the 3? Okay, how many would they give in the exam? So that's going to be based off of your teacher. Because this, as I said in the beginning, I'm not sure if you heard, that this is going to be mostly for the college algebra. This is not on GED. Okay, so this is for like students that are taking college algebra classes. And they got a final coming up either next week or the week after. So a lot of people just started going into my DMs and like, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? So here we are. Okay, so all right, so this will not, I'll repeat, will not be on the GED. Okay, ASVAB, you might see one. And especially if you see that one, that means you're really doing well. Like you're in the 50s and 60s, maybe 70s. Okay, because this is being added and this is being multiplied. They are two different worlds. They cannot cancel. Good question, Mars. So you're doing college algebra? Yep. So it all depends on your teacher, how many they want to release. Okay. Yep. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can find one with subtraction. Let's try this one. So if I have 1 over minus 9, okay, minus 1, so we have x squared plus 11x plus 18. Oh, there's an Audrey. Cool. This is my doppelganger. Great. Okay. So, let's take a look. So, if you notice, we have 1 over x squared plus 8x minus 9 minus 1 over x squared plus 11x plus 18. So, very first thing I'm going to look at is to see if I can factor these, okay, if it is at all possible to factor them. If I can factor them, so it'll help me figure out what should be my LCM, or LCD in this case. Now, my leading coefficient is a 1. So I need to take a look. What two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 9 and add together to give me a positive 8? Okay, so I'm going to split my x's and I'll ask myself the question, what two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 9 and add together to give me a positive 8? What do we think? Okay, so Dirtbag is saying positive 9 and negative 1. Mars is saying negative 1 and 9. Okay, I love how a lot of people forget about the 1 times table with these all the time. Okay, Pog is saying 9 and negative 1. All right. Okay, so two numbers multiplied to give me 9. You have 9 and 1, and you have 3 and 3. But here's the thing. We want to be able to add those two numbers up to give me a positive 8. So if we make our 9 positive and our 1 negative, we're going to satisfy the multiplication with a different sign so we can get a negative 9. But when we add 9 plus negative 1, that's going to give us our 8x. So this is factorable, which is good. Now, let's go to the next one. Since my leading coefficient is 1, we can go ahead and split my x's. And then we can think what two numbers multiplied together would give me 18 and add together to give me 9. So Mars is saying 9 and 2. Let's put back, right? Dirtbag said 9 and 2. So Earthy says 9 and 2. Jamila says 9 and 2. Spotlight on the Bay. Hello, love. It says 9 and 2. Elise says 9 and 2. Both positive. Good job. Wade Price 9 and -2. Janice 9 and 2. Testovic is saying 9 times 2. Big Al, thank you for your honesty. All right, I got you. All right, don't have a clue, Bella. Got you. All right, so this is when we really have to know our multiplication facts. So 2 numbers multiplied to give me 18. So the 2 numbers that can give me 18, let me put this over here. So we have 1 and 18. We have 2 and 9. We have 3 and 6. Well, 9 and 2 backwards. I think that's about it. No 7s, no 8s. Nope, that's about it. All right. So, of these, which ones? These are all when I multiply. 1 and 18, I get 18. 2 and 9, I get 18. 3 times 6, I get 18. Now, which one of these, if I do addition, will give me a positive 11? So hopefully you're saying 9 and 2. Okay, 9 and 2. So we got both plus the 9 plus the 2 because they're both positive. Now, taking a look at the denominators, what do you notice? Okay, what do you notice? Take a look at the denominators. What do you notice? Okay, got some like terms, some like parentheses, okay? Because remember, we're trying to get the common denominator. So it looks like our LCM, or LCD, will be x plus 9, x minus 1, and x plus 2. Okay? So there's 3 things that would make it common. They both have x plus 9. But this one has the x minus 1. This one does not. This one has the x plus 2. This one does not. So we need all 3 of them so we can multiply it out to what's going on up top. Okay, good. So what's missing with this one is, okay, your x plus 2. Whatever you do in the denominator, you do in the numerator. Okay. What's missing from this is going to be our x minus 1. It has the 9 plus 8. It has the x plus 2, but it always stopped with the x minus 1. And whatever you do in the numerator, you do in the denominator, and vice versa. So we're lucky enough that our coefficients are 1s. So when it comes to the distributive property, this is exactly what you got. You got x plus 2 minus x minus 1. And their common denominator was x plus 2, x plus 9, oops, It's almost that time. It's time to get sleepy. All right. What do you notice? Yeah, that's supposed to be x minus 1. Thank you, Justin. Okay. So we will get that in the numerator, right? Right, Pog? We got that plus 1, plus 1. Justin, that plus 1. Because here, this is what we're doing. We're taking this, we're subtracting this. But, guess what you guys forgot? You subtracted the x's, which is fine. They're going to cancel out. I got a positive minus a negative. Boom, they cancel out. But don't forget, it's not 2 minus 1. It's 2 minus a negative 1. So you're actually going to add. So this takes you to 3 over all of the shenanigans. There you go. Brain teasers. Yes. But see, here's my thing. You're also subtracting that negative 1. That's why. Okay? That's why we all do the keep, flip, change. Or keep, change, flip. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's try one more. I love how people are still shooting off fireworks. I'm starting to be a connoisseur. Like, was that fireworks or is that a firearm? I'm like, nope, that's fireworks. Thank you so much for the taps, guys. The taps, the likes, the gifts, all that. I appreciate it. You hear it too? No, I'm not. I'm using my cell phone. No, I'm using my cell phone. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, you heard it too? Yeah. That'd be hilarious if we lived like right near each other. That would be absolutely hilarious. Like, I've been your neighbor for 28 years. That's practically me. All right. Thank you. All right. So we have our first ratio, that x minus 5. We have our second ratio, that x minus 3. Now, we got to play around with this bad boy, right? So, my leading coefficient is a 1. All right, that's nice. So that means I can split my x's up. So there's an x there, there's an x there. So now I need to think, what two numbers multiplied together will give me 15 and add together will give me a negative 8. So two numbers multiplied together to give me 15 and add together to give me a negative 8. All right, Dirtbag says -3, -5. Mars, -5, -3. Okay, JB. Hey, JB, saying 5 and 3. Spotlight saying 3 and -5. Tori saying -5, -3. JB switched it up to -5, -3. Okay. Anyone else want to put their 2 cents in? Oh, thank you for the rose. Thank you. Appreciate it. Or roses, I should say plural. All right. So, to get my 15, we got our 5 and we got our 3. But since it's a positive 15, it's either both of them going to be positive or both of them going to be negative. But since our middle term is a -8, both of them are going to be negative. So as you notice, this is x minus 5, this is x minus 3, this has both x minus 5 and x minus 3. So we can conclude, since we basically are repeating those same two denominators, we can basically conclude to say that our least common divisor really should be x minus 5 and x minus 3. So that's what we want our denominators to match up to be. There we go. Yeah, it's usually the part that mixes up, like what should your denominator be? If you notice that there's a pattern with like the same parentheses, then boom, that's your LCM or LCD. Okay? So for this first ratio, you always want to multiply by what is missing. So if my LCM is going to be x minus 5 and x minus 3, that means I'm missing the x minus 3. Now you can write it out twice if you want, but remember, this is a time test. So the next one has x minus 3, but it's missing x minus 5. And this one has both, so we don't touch it. Okay, you only give what they need, what is needed. So let's jump into it. So x times x gives me x squared, minus x times 3 gives me 3x. Then we have 2 times x minus 5. It's hilarious. That's supposed to be a 10, and that's supposed to be a minus sign in there. And there is a minus sign in between those two. Now, for this one, it already has both of the denominators. So I'm bringing down my minus sign, and I'm just going to do the distribution of that 5 to everything inside the parenthesis. So we have 5x, and then we have negative 15. But remember, we're subtracting that whole thing. That's why I kind of like to put parentheses around things. Okay? We can write the denominator if you want. Write the whole thing, and it's all going to be under x minus 5. X minus 3. So let's clean up. If you want, we can do keep, change, flip a couple of times. So what can happen? We're going to keep that x squared. We're going to keep that 3x. We're going to change this. Instead of a positive 2x, it's going to be a negative 2x. And instead of a minus 10, it's going to be a plus 10. Then this will be a negative 5x, and then this would be a positive 15. Combine your like terms. Yes, that is 2x minus 10. Yeah. Getting a little strayed here. So since my highest degree is my x squared, then we have -3 minus 2. That gives me a -5. Then we have this other -5. So that gives me a -10x. Then we have our 10 plus 15. That gives me a plus 25. So this is going to be my numerator. Can this be factored? Can it be factored? Hey, David Squared, how are you? Right now, I can't cross anything out because up top in the numerator, this is adding and subtracting. Down or below is multiplying. So I can't cancel anything out, yes, just yet. Okay, yes, I can factor. So if I factor this, remember, what's in blue is going to be our numerator. I can split my x's. Then I have two numbers multiplied to give me 25. 5 and 5. As well as we'll add together will give me a -10. So -5, -5. So here we go. I'm going to take this up here. So that means our numerator is basically x minus 5 times x minus 5. But our denominator is going to be x minus 5 times x minus 3. Now, I think it was Justin. Was it Justin? Said about canceling. Hold on. Yep, it was Justin Z. So now, Justin, now you can cancel out because you have multiplication, both numerator and denominator. So one set of the x minus 5s is cancel out. What's left is x minus 5 over x minus 3. Woof. Are you exhausted? Because I am. I am. You missed algebra? Hey. It is here. Okay? Yes, all of this shenanigans. This was just for that one problem. Okay? But it's like you're taking pieces of information to build on a puzzle. Yeah. Yeah, they are fun. Okay? But the key thing, because a lot of people keep, or not a lot, but a couple of you guys keep saying, oh, I can cancel. No. If you're doing addition and subtraction, you cannot cancel. If you're doing multiplication and division, yes, you can cancel. Okay? Make sure you get that, correctly. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of multiplying and dividing, and then my babies, I got to go to bed. I'm exhausted. All right, we'll do this. Go ahead. All right, so let's tap it up. Let's see if we can tap it to 20. We just made it to 17. We can easily tap it to 20. And while you guys are tapping, all right, I finally got everything situated. So if you are about to take a test, be it GED, ASVAB, TEAS, or college algebra, I am putting together a mock practice test. Okay, the first one was supposed to be yesterday. All my stuff got jacked up. Yeah, it's easy for me to say I screwed up because I take full responsibility. So I'm so sorry. There was a couple people that were interested, so hopefully you guys are still interested. So we still have like 5 days on the docket. I didn't want to put anything on the 30th or the 31st because that's how many people are still testing. But if you need and you're just like want to do some kind of practice so you can get an idea like, okay, I do know a lot. All right, I do know something. But it's at the same time, you're not just like, all right, am I going in the right direction? Whatever. Yeah. So it's like roughly 35 questions each time. You got like an hour. And what happens is once everyone comes in, everyone checks in. And then as soon as I start the test, that's it. So like the doors, if I'm going to say we're going to start at 7, that's when the doors open. They open at 7 and then the doors close at 7:15. Okay? 15 minutes to get yourself together. So none of this, oh, I'm late and all that stuff. Then you're not getting in. Just like any kind of test. So then after that time period, I'm going to go over the test and break down what were the right answers, what are some questions you may have, and so forth. Okay? So entry is $10 per person. I was going to do it just to subscribers, but I decided, you know what? I just want everyone to take advantage of it. You know what? Do it. But the only thing is if you want the replay, if you want the test, any of those things, the cost is $25. But if you subscribe to my TikTok channel, which is free, you will get the discounted price of $15 for the replay and the test and so forth. All right. Okay. Let's get going. I think I literally have like 2 in me and that is it. All right, and then tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm going to be doing point slope and standard form. So just to get yourselves all excited for that. So let's try this. So we have 3y cubed. We have 6y minus 5. Times 36y squared minus 25. And then it's over 5 plus 6y. Okay, let me bring it down a little bit. Do I do Algebra 2? Yes, I do. How do we get the test on test day? Well, when you sign up, which if you go to my link there's a link. I'm tired of TikTok having me tiptoe everywhere. So if you go to my profile, there's a link to my website, okay? So if anything, it'll actually have like mock prep or mock practice test. So you can sign up. After you sign up, I'm going to send you a link, okay? It's definitely a Zoom link. Because I don't want anybody like trying to disturb us and everything like that. So afterwards, like as I'm doing the answers, you can ask questions. I will give you like quick tips. Like, all right, notice I didn't answer the whole question. I didn't need to. So all those other things. Okay, so just go there. I think that's it. Yep. Okay. Yep. So just go and sign up. So the next one that's coming is on Saturday, and that's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Okay? All right. So since we have multiplication, we need to factor. So right now, this first ratio, we don't have to factor. It's as lowest term. It's basically, it is what it is. But check out this numerator. 36y squared minus 25. Right now, my difference of square radar is going off. Okay? So, because 36 is a square root, the 25 is a perfect square root. So I'm like, yep, let's split them. So that means we have 6y and you have 6y. And you have a minus 25 and then you have 25. Okay. Why am I saying 25 and 25? You can tell I'm sleepy. Yeah, I think I should just stop because I am really sleepy. 6y plus 5. 6y minus 5. This is what happens when you do math all flipping day. All right. So now you're probably saying, oh, Audrey, the denominators are not the same. They don't need to be the same when you're multiplying. Okay. Adding, subtracting, yes. Multiplying, dividing, no. Okay. But we cannot do anything with this y and that y. Okay. The reason why, no pun intended, is this is a part of one number. Okay, we can't split it up because we got that addition. If this was all multiplication and all multiplication up here, yes, you can start tackling things left and right. So since we broke this down with 6y plus 5 and 6y minus 5, we have a 6y minus 5 here. We can cancel these out because it's multiplication. And you're probably saying, well, we can cancel the 6y plus 5 with the 5 plus 6y. Yes, you can. Okay? Because of its addition, addition has that associative property. So that means this can cancel and this can cancel. This doesn't exist because that's what it was up here. So what's left? 3y to the third. And that's your final answer. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I feel it. Because all of a sudden it's like, right. You see all this stuff. And that's why I like the multiplying and the dividing so much better. Because I don't have to worry so much. There's less stress. Less stress. So if I do this last one and then I'm done, I swear, I promise. And it's probably going to be something that's like, oh, that's really easy. Okay, so 5y to the fourth divided by 10 times 3y minus 5 squared. Do not be intimidated. Divide by. She's like, don't be intimidated. I'm like, yeah, don't let this intimidate you. Because once you see, you're going to be like, oh, I could just do blah, 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 blah. Okay. You can hear it? Yeah. I'm flipping exhausted. I was just like, I have no energy. None. All right. So now, always take a look in between. If you see a plus sign, you have to have a common denominator. If you see a minus sign, you have to have a common denominator. If you see a multiplication sign, you don't need a common denominator. Okay? You're going to see what you can factor and see what you can cancel out. Then, for a division, again, we're going back to keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep this first ratio. So that's my 5y to the fourth over 10 times 3y minus 5 squared. We're going to change that division to multiplication. And then we're going to flip the second ratio. So that means you're going to have 2 times 3y minus 5 cubed over 10y to the 5th. All right, yes. Keep, change, flip. So now, here we go. We're going to take a look to see what we can cancel out. What is something that we could cancel out? Cancel out or even simplify. What do you think we can cancel out? Okay, the 10y, okay, the 10y and the negative 5. So inside the parenthesis, we're not splitting up. We're not splitting up. So we can cancel the 5 with the 10 if we want to do that. So we can say this is going to be a 1 and this is going to be a 2. The reason why I can say that, all of this is multiplication. Okay, what else? What else can we do? What's one thing that looks so intimidating? Okay, so we can do the 2 and the 10. All right, so that would be a 1 and this will be a 5. All right. Okay, what else? Don't be afraid to be incorrect. You might be correct. Give it a try. Okay, Pog is saying the 3y minus 5. Ah, see, this is raised to the 3rd power. This is raised to the 2nd power. So basically, this can be completely gone, and you only have one of these left. Because if you have 3, take away 2, will only give you 1 left. What else? Okay, Hunter, thank you. You got y to the 4th and y to the 5th. So that means my y to the 4ths are gone, and we only have 1 y left over down here. All right, so let's clean this up. Let's see what we got. So in the numerator, there's a 1 here. There's a 1 here. So all we have is 3y minus 5. Okay. Then down here in the denominator, we have a 2 times a 5. So that will give me 10. So that's done. And what else? Y. I don't know why it's all the way over here, but here we are. I just looked, I'm like, why am I so far to the left? My goodness. Okay, now here's the thing. You cannot touch that y with that y. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay, because this is a whole expression that's being subtracted, whereas this is just pure multiplication. Okay, so you cannot, the only time you can cancel is just like we did up here, is when you are multiplying. So this is your answer. Okay. I know, right? Look how it's all the way over here. Like, sheesh. All right. Okay, so I love you all, but I'm tired. I am exhausted. Exhausted. But this is basically what you have to do with the adding, subtracting. As I keep saying, when you're adding, subtract, you have to have a common denominator. When you multiply and divide, you do not. But you want to put everything into multiplication if it starts off as division, because it'll be easy for you to cancel things out. Okay. Alrighty. Of course it would. I know. It's like, is it driving you crazy, Hunter? You're like, just a little crazy. Just a little crazy. Yes, Nike, definitely. I would like to get some rest. I'm really only working on 2 hours of sleep. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, if anything, that's what we're doing tomorrow at 1 p.m. I am going to go over point slope, breaking on down. The video from this morning, oh, not this morning, this afternoon is already up on my, what you call it? Because I can't say the word. Okay. If you want any of the replays, you can just go here. And then I definitely would love for you guys to do a couple things. Love for you to do this, this, and this. Okay, just so we can try to keep things going. It's awesome that there's over 500 subscribers on there. I am so excited. Like, really excited. When I started on this journey, I just had 100, and it took me like 4 years to get that. And all of a sudden, I started doing this, and next thing you know, you guys start coming in here. So this is awesome. All right. Sleep. And done. I'm trying to think what else needs to be said. So if you guys need assistance, here we go with all my lovely services. Okay. Be on the lookout for my new latest math notebook. But if you need a private tutor, okay, still have some slots left for July. I literally have 2 slots left. So if you want to do like a small group, we can do a small group. Mostly on my Saturdays. Saturday and Sundays are very wide open. And I know that's the time where everybody wants to sit and chill. But at the same time, I'm only taking an hour. That's it. Like, you get the rest of the day to do whatever you need to do. All right. If you're thinking of a self-paced course to help you through it, you can take my course. This is like $147 for just a course. But until the end of July, it's not going to be a 2. It's still a 4. Okay. So if you want the course and 4 30-minute tutoring sessions, hey, just reach out and just actually go here to fill out the information so you can get started. And if you like my books and you want to order them, you can order them right here. And again, this is also located in here. All right. I know it feels weird, like here and here and here. Like I don't know how to speak. It's craziness, but here we are. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to be a lot better tomorrow, but definitely be safe. And I will talk with you guys mañana. Cool. All right. Bye.